Hey, how's it going? About to start Bible study and the phone rings. Hello? Hello?
Hi, I'm Jessica calling from GBC Business Group. How are you doing today?
Can you take my name?
Glad to hear it. At GBC Business Group, we handle your company's incoming.
Can you take me off the list? She didn't even hear me. Like some kind of what? Robot? I don't know. You're the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Seriously. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick. We're talking about salt and light. I think it was salt yesterday that we covered. Neither do men light a candle, put it under a bushel. They put it on a candlestick and giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass away, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So when you talk about Jesus and the law, you get into all of the law can be fulfilled in this one. There we go. Galatians 5:14, King James Version, Bible Gateway. And you get to Galatians 5:19 through 21, just about 5 more verses down. And it gives you sort of a list of sins that those which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom. Adultery, fornication, wrath, strife, emulations, witchcraft, drunkenness, reveling. It says, for all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Neighbor, talking about sheep to sheep. And this does not mean what we just read, that you need to keep the Torah laws, because all of those are fulfilled in Christ. Many of them were while I'm thinking about it, hang on just a second. Anyway, Jesus fulfilled the law. Matthew 5:17, which is where we are at. 4 ways Jesus fulfills the law and the prophets. Let's just see what they say. Wasn't much there. Sorry about that. Thought we were getting something. Didn't mean to waste your time with it. Like Jesus is our Sabbath rest. Jesus is our Sabbath rest. How is Jesus our Sabbath rest? So the Sabbath, for instance, is part of the law. Well, Jesus fulfills the law by being our Sabbath rest. And I guess it's in 2 Corinthians where it's spoken of a little bit. Maybe it's in Hebrews 3:11. Or was it Hebrews? Anyway, I put this particular link in the comments a few months ago for another reason. And so I'll put it in there again so you can kind of go through this link. But that's just one example. The law was the foreshadowing of Jesus. And in many different ways, in most every way, on very deep levels. So we don't keep the Torah laws today, but many people will point to this and try to trick you, and they're Hebrew roots movement people and all kind of lies and wolves in sheep's clothing out there. Here's what we were. For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Ye have heard that it was said of them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of judgment. I paused for a second. I want to go back and read that. I was kind of daydreaming when I read it. And of course, it's another verse they can twist. What does it mean that your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees who what? Tried to keep the law. And of course, they added to the law. Scribes and Pharisees added to the law. What are the laws called that were added to the 613 Torah laws? What are the laws called that were added to Moses' law? Should say law.
According to Wikipedia, the Jewish tradition that there are 613 commandments or mitzvah in the Torah is first recorded in the 3rd century CE, when Rabbi Simlai mentioned it in a sermon that is recorded in Talmud Makot 23b.
Let me find it for you. I'm not doing a good enough search. The halakha is the collective body of Jewish religious laws which are derived from the written and oral Torah. I think they were called oral laws. What are the oral laws, Judaism? Legal interpretations that were not recorded in the 5 books of Moses. These were laws that they added in. Oral Torah or oral law, Torah that is on the mouth, represents those laws, statutes, and legal interpretations that were not recorded in. So they started adding to the laws. The scribes and Pharisees started adding to the law. Oral law got questions. Let me see if they did something on it. What is the Talmud? And the Talmud is terrible stuff. But this is what began. This began with those that crucified Jesus, and they've never stopped. And now the Talmud and that whole world, they bring in Jewish mysticism. Jewish mysticism. Kabbalah and mysticism. The Kabbalah and things like that. It really gets into some really bad stuff. You might as well be into astrology and numerology and all of that. So why does it say, except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees? When Jesus, of course, didn't even like the scribes and Pharisees. But of course, they tried to keep the law or pretended to and bragged about it. And of course, we're adding to it. And that's the part that Jesus, of course, hated, these oral laws. So why does it say your righteousness needs to even exceed theirs? Because if you're a sheep, your righteousness will, because you're called by Jesus, and Jesus will bring you through fulfilling his law, known as the law of Christ. What is the law of Christ? Got questions? Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. To those outside the law, I became as one outside the law, not being outside the law of God, but under the law of Christ, that I might win those outside the law. That was Paul talking there in Corinthians. It's some pretty detailed, I'd really have to get into a very detailed study to go over that with you, but of course, go over my Corinthians Bible study. And again, you just go to my daily Bible study channel, click playlist. Which one are we looking for? 1 Corinthians. Man, I got a Corinthians study in here somewhere, I'm pretty sure. Hang on, let me see. Before I was doing daily Bible studies, we did it in the summer. From July 12th all the way to September 20th. God, we went through that fast. We covered 1st and 2nd Corinthians in 2.5 months. Okay. But that was back in 2020. That was before I was doing these on Zoom and putting them to a playlist. So very good then. Eventually we'll get to it. But if you got any questions about Corinthians now, don't hesitate to ask. But you will be way more righteous than the scribes and Pharisees who were goats, because you will be sheep, and he'll bring you through that salvational process that we speak about so many times. Ye have heard that it was said of them of old, it's the old Jewish days, thou shalt not kill, and whoever shall kill will be in danger of judgment. Semicolon. We'll pick up on the rest tomorrow, or continuation. Daniel 3, wherefore at the time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. O king, thou hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoever doesn't do that should be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, these men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image I have set up? Now, if we be ready that at the time we hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, that you fall down and worship the image I have made, well, but if you worship not, you shall be cast that same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? All right. We'll continue on. If I don't get to it tonight, I'm out of town Saturday, but I'll be back Sunday to do a Saturday and Sunday Bible study. All right. Love y'all very much.